Welcome back, winners. My name is Michael, and welcome to episode 25 of the Outside Bet. Happy New Year's Eve to everyone, and this is a quick video to set you up for tomorrow's Championship program, where we've got a few bets in play. We're going to have a quick look at La Liga, and of course, there will be a big free bet at the end of this podcast, as there always is. It's a beautiful day here. It's freezing, so I will not take up too much of your time. Please, as always, like and subscribe and comment on the YouTube video. Ask us any questions about the slates, ask us any questions about betting, and we will try our best to answer them. And if you're listening on the audio podcast, please leave us a 5-star review, of course. As I said, we're going to quickly run through the Championship and La Liga, which is back after a mini winners break, and I mean extremely mini. The Championship has obviously been ongoing, and it's a complete run. It's just a treadmill of games at this time of year. So that's what will be. The free bet, there's a clue. The game is in Yorkshire. That's the only clue I'll give you until the end of the podcast. The full bets and all of the bets are with the private WhatsApp members group already. The data sheets and the predictions for every single game in every single league we cover are with the patrons. And the leans are with the upper tier patrons, of course, in full. The free big bets come at the end of every YouTube video. And as described, they are completely free. And they have a winning record. So expect at least one more pod over the weekend, unless the value in our bets gets eaten up and there isn't a free bet that has value. We're now on to a more detailed look. I have the data sheets here, which are, let me show you. They look like this, and all of our patrons get them as and when we need to. If we start in the Championship, let's have a quick look. I'll pick out some highlights for you. We've obviously got the early game is the TV game, which is Blackburn-Wrexham, and I know you all have a lot of interest in that. So that's a 12:30, I think 12:30. Correct me if I'm wrong on any of these kickoff times, please. That game, we do have a little bit of value and a little bit of a lean, and the lean is mainly into Blackburn Rovers. The handicap markets are showing them handicapped at 1/4 of a goal, but we've got them winning by 1.1. That's not enough for one of our bets, as you know. And likewise, in the total goals, we've got it coming in at about 2.7, and the market is roughly at 2.25 at the moment. Now, that could get eaten up tomorrow because it's a live game. There could be quite a lot of money being placed on that. If we look into the mid-afternoon snake, actually, let's start with the other live game, which is the main game, which is I think it's 5:30, Sheffield United versus Leicester City at the end of the day's play. We've also got a couple of leans on that because the market is roughly sitting on the over 2.5 level, and we've got that being very high score in that game, with maybe as much as 4 goals. So there's value there, and at least possibly a bet. And similarly, the market seems to be showing Sheffield United by 3/4 of a goal in the supremacy. That seems under to us. I mean, we think that Sheffield United could win this by nearly 2 goals. And so that's super interesting and well worth having a look at. If we move on to all of the rest of the games, by the way, are all in the middle of the day. So we'll have a look at pick out a couple of highlights for you. I don't want this video to go on for more than 10 minutes, so we'll try and aim for the big bet to be around the 8-minute mark, as we usually do, and that will, of course, be free and go out to everyone, and might even feature on our TikTok Reels. So the main thing is to look at the sort of biggies. The biggies would be Watford-Birmingham. We've got a slight lean into Watford on that. I mean, this is a classic example of when you shouldn't probably bet, but you're tempted to. We've got Watford superior in that game by 1.22 goals. That's pretty good. The market has Watford at superior by 1/4 of a goal. So that is value. But the problem is that this is a low-scoring game. And if it's a draw, one of your 2 bets will result in a push. Now, that's not a disaster, but that's not great profit. But I would still say that Watford are worth looking at in that game. And if you're building an ACCA, then all of these ones I give out are sort of interesting. The Hull City-Stoke City game, I will put you out your misery, is going to be featured later in the free big bet. So we won't bother covering that now, as there's no point in duplicating anything on a short video. If we look quickly into the QPR Norwich game, again, you're seeing little bits of value here. We've got QPR winning this quite comfortably by a whole goal nearly, and the market's showing them being about 1/4 of a goal supremacy. So you're looking at a good 3/4 of a goal. Now, that's not enough, as you know, for us to make a bet, but that's not to say that other punters haven't got different thresholds. Moving on quickly, we've got a couple of unders. When I say unders, I mean under the market, because I'm not just saying under 2.5. It should be obvious that by now, but in the Derby County Middlesbrough game, for example, the market is under 2.25 goals on the Asian total goals, and we've got it about 1.8. And the Ipswich Town, we've got the market's at under 2.75, so it's quite a big high scoring game according to the market. But we have it at much lower than that with a 2.2 goal total goals level. And if you consider that we've got Ipswich Town to be supreme by that in 1.5 goals, that shows that how poor we view Oxford in that game. And there's probably value in just taking a total goals, but a total goals of Ipswich. So if we're under on the goals, so the market thinks 2.75 goals for the game, we think 2.2. But we think Ipswich are going to get the lion's share of those. If you find a bookmaker that's offering the 2.75 goals, then it will probably have amazing value in the Ipswich goals. So it's worth looking at that. That could well be good value. I haven't looked myself, so I'm not going to start talking about it. And it's a similar story when you talk about Southampton supremacy, possibly Swansea supremacy. There's value there, but they're not our bets. They're more our leans, but all of our leans go out to our highest tier patrons in advance so they can get the best value. But I can give you out some of them on a podcast like this for free. Not wanting to dwell too long on Spain because it's a bit of it's coming back after a Christmas break, as they say. Is that a good time to bet on it? They've all rested. Possibly not is the answer. I'll cut to the chase there. But we've got some unders leans on Celta Vigo. We've got an overs leans on Asunia. I mean, the patrons have all the leans, so I won't just read them out to you, as we've been asked specifically not to do that. But say we look at Asunia, the market has this as a handicap of 0. That's effectively a draw, no bet market. So if you're betting on Asunia to win the game with a draw, no bet, you get your money back on a draw. But Asunia, the home club, could win so comfortably because we've got them as a 0.59 favourite. That's nearly half. It's more than half a goal, and it's a very strong position to be in. Without wanting to take up too much of your time on Spanish football, because it's not for everyone, and our Spanish members are quite often contact us directly and arrange private subscriptions just to Spain. Let's end by looking at the Real Sociedad versus Atletico Madrid game, because this is a big swinger. The market is showing a plus half a goal handicap to Real Sociedad against Atletico Madrid. And we've got Real Sociedad as a plus half a goal favourite. So that is the one goaler. And the only reason we have not bet on that as one of our big bets in this video, for example, is that I apologise for that. I'm actually near our local pub and someone's just decided to empty an entire Christmas worth of bottles out. But the only reason we haven't gone for this is because we would be betting against Real Madrid there. And we're actually using Hull City as our free big bet because they're much more likely to win. So, 8 minutes is the timestamp. Sorry about the glass bottles breaking. And we are in for our free big bet. As ever, if you've just joined the video, to jump straight to the pre-big bet, please like and subscribe and comment on the YouTube video. And please, if you fast forwarded, leave us a 5-star review if you're listening to the podcast. If you're watching this as a short on TikTok, please come over to watch us on YouTube, because otherwise you're only seeing the bets after the match has happened. These bets are made in advance on YouTube, so you can actually make money from them. As you know, we're back in the Championship and we're heading to Yorkshire. And let's keep our run going in the Championship, because it's been a long time since we've lost one there. All of our WhatsApp members already have all the bets, so let's head to the Hull City versus Stoke City in tomorrow afternoon. Now, I do hope you've got the bell icon pressed on YouTube, so you've been alerted that this video's dropped, so that you can get the maximum value, which is right now, because we can still get full value on the Hull City supremacy in this game. Hull City is a quarter of a goal favourite at evens on the Asian handicap market across the high street this morning. Our model has Hull by 1.31 goals, so the 1 goal minimum value we insist on for a full bet is clearly there. In total on the game, to give you the background, we've got 2.4 goals for the game, which is split 1.83 in favour and to 0.52 in favour of Hull over Stoke. So remember, for all the bet builders and all the acca makers that you are out there, that there's good value in all directions on this bet. So for example, home goals, home shots, all of those sort of things will have value. So come on, Hull City. Let's start off the year in style. 2026 is on the way with more free winning bets. We will be back every day. There's a free bet for you guys and girls, in the year of 2026. And so all that remembers to be said is good luck, goodbye, be safe and be nice, everyone. I love you lots, and Happy New Year, one and all.